Hello, everyone, and welcome to the presentation, Five Weird Things That Happen During the ISO Management System Certification Process. I'm Mike Richmond, your host for Exemplar Global's online expo, focused on the current state of conformity assessment. This session is presented by Jorge Bravo, who is a renowned international expert in ISO standards compliance, a lead auditor, and the creator of one of the top-rated Udemy courses on compliance management. He advises organizations worldwide and across industries on building ethical, high-performing management systems. In this presentation, Jorge will examine how a robust management system based on conformity to ISO standards should be consistently implemented, understood by personnel, and reflected in everyday operations, and not only during audits. So, Jorge, thanks for joining us here at the Expo.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike. Five weird things that happen during the ISO management system process, the focusing audit process. Mm. Welcome, everyone, and thank you, Mike, for your introduction for the important event. I have spoken to a virtual event several times before, and I am very happy to be here again to share some ideas with you. Most of you have experience with management system audits, whether they are first party, second party, third party audits. This presentation is useful to any time, any type of audit. To make it more interesting, I will share real experience from management system certification audits. I will use an ISO 9001 management system audit, the main example to talking about some unusual situation I have experienced during different audits. Let me ask a question for you. How many of you have done audit during the last year where something unexpected happened? Please keep those experience in mind because today we were talking about the five situations that auditors around the world often face. There are no random events. They are not simple coincidence. They are repeat patterns. My first experience with the ISO international standard was in Vancouver, Canada, in ISO in 2002. That's where I finished the work, the first edition ISO 19011. You also that fourth edition was published on May 25 this year, 2026. I have taken part in every revision of ISO 19011. The rest of my career is in project training, audit, and for private company and organization or public organization too. As our company, Beyond Conformity, we follow three main ideas: simple, interesting, and different. So let's begin. When the audit enter a company, two audits begin at the same time. One is the audit in your audit plan. The other audit is the real audit. The one that shows that the real happen in the organization during the normal working day. The main message is simple. The certification process has great value, but only when reflect the real situation of the organization. Today we were talking about the five most common difference between we see during the audit and we really happening. Before the start, let me give you a short overview of for today my presentation. These five situations are non-unusual. Unusual, there are no expectations. If you have audited many organizations, you have probably seen all five of them. Maybe you even found more than one during the same audit. Now let's talk a quick look at each one. One, documentation that exists on paper only. Number two, employees who've been briefed but no training. Three, facility that is sparkle on audit and look like different place in the next morning. Four, record were complete after the fact. Five, leader who believed everything is fine until the auditor showed that it isn't. Let's start with number one. Well, in my opinion, which is more probably to more universal. Mm. Have you ever seen a quality manual that look like the writing by the group of lawyers or the format like a NASA report? And wasn't ever never read the people who actually do the work? That is one more common problems in management system around the world. Organizations spend thousand hours writing documents. The organization, they organize them carefully. They store them in nice binder or in modern SharePoint, and then no one use them again. ISO 9001, clause 7.5 say the documentation information must or shall be available and suitable for use. In my opinion, being available is not enough, but must also is useful. One simple audit question can tell us a lot. Can you show the where the procedure is? When was the last time you used this? Is can you give me one example how you it help you make a decision? The interesting part is that everyone already knows the answer. Managers or sometimes external consultants, I mean, brought the procedures. The employees never really use them. But the side know this, but nobody talk about this. Now let me share real example. Company one, company one in country one buys company B in country two, but company make it bicycles. Later, company B want to become ISO 9000 certified. The management system from the management system manager from company A say our documentation is 100% identical to company 2, company B. What is your opinion? The documentation spectrum. The diagram illustrates the powerful concept. Most organizations achieve the first three levels, write and approve and distribute, well, and consider the job done. The real value comes from levels 4 and 5. That the organization understand and apply its documentation. Auditor tip for you. Ask employee to retrieve a specific procedure during the audit. What happens? Do they know where to find it? Do they know when it said? Have they ever referred to it? A telling question. When was the last time this procedure was updated? What changes? Who was informed? If answer are vague, you have find your gap. The next that the share adapt the our my experience is the one audit an organization where the quality manual was kept in a glass cabinet in the reception area, beautiful vendor, but never touched. And asked the reception the secretary what it was. She said, "I think it's our fire safety manual." What is your opinion? Okay. Imagine this. You are doing the audit. You are ask an operator, can you tell me the quality policy, for example? He answered perfectly. Ask them more question, what does it mean for your daily work? Silence, long silence. Then he say, I think this means to visual to be a good job. This is a clear sign the audit preparation has gone too far. There is another wrong to helping people understand the management system. The problem starts when the people are taught what to say instead to helping them understand when they do. They talk away the real value of the audit. Here is something. Here are something. Some warning sign. Different employee give exactly the same answer. People stop and think before answering. They repeat the word from the procedure. You hear, "Can I ask you, Johnny?" several times. Employee look the same supervisor before the answer. One simple audit tip. Ask about the process, not about the standard process. Focus process, not standard, not document. Instead of asking what is your quality policy, tell me about the problem you have the last month. How did you solve it? Next, this slide this slide is especially into for auditor for audience. The main message is simple. The problem is not that organization prepare their people for an audit. The problem is how they prepare them. Good preparation means helping people understand why the management system exists, what their role is, how they talk natural about their daily work. Bad preparation sounds like this. Remember this answer. Don't talk about that. If you are not sure, call your supervisor. ISO 9001 Clause 772 and 73 require more than training record. They require competence and awareness. A training certificate, for example, by itself does not provide competence. As auditor, we should talk right people different levels of the organization. As the real example, no memorize answer what the work while is it being done, not only talk about it. That gives much better audit evidence. Now let's move to the third unusual situation, the pre-audit cleanup effect. I once arrived at a facility for surveillance audits and the paint on the wall was still wet. The QA manager smiled and said they've been doing some facility improve. Of course, the painting was still wet. The pre-audit clean effect is real and universal. Yeah? It happened across all sector, all size, all countries. Organization goes into emergency mode in the days leading to an audit. Equipment is unusually clean. Labels are new. Signage that are missing for months suddenly appears. The situation appears in the EHS 45K audit. This is not fraud. This is a human nature. Human nature. Organization want to make a good impression, of course, but they create a credibility gap. What auditor should do? One, ask to see maintenance logs, cleaning schedule 5S inspection records, for example, evidence of sustained practices, no one day performance, and number two, check a date on the record, tracing the all events of the signal. And number three, when was the last cleaned, calibrated, inspected before today, and verify again records. Four, compare the audit day condition to site picture photos to previous visits. And this connects naturally with our four weird things, strange things, because when you are doing one day clean up, you also need to do one day paperwork catch up. And next. One day wonder or daily practice. Here is the main idea. A perfect management system can be a warning saying a real management system is never perfect. There are always corrective action in progress. There are always problems solved. There are always opportunities to improve. So, is everything look perfect on day of the audit? Is a good reason to look more closely. You know, here is one useful audit question. For example, what is the biggest quality problem you are working on today? Organization with a healthy management system usually answer right away. Right away. They know their current challenges. Organizations that prepare only the audit often answer, we don't have any major problems at the moment. This is usually not a good answer. It can be a warning sign. Now, let's let's add the records. Pay attention to small details. Mm. Date entered at the same time, missing date and unusual gap, etc. These small details can show the record with complete job just before the audit. Okay, backdate record. This is the topic a few people there to talk about. I want to be clear. Most of the time, this doesn't happen because someone is trying to commit fraud. It happened because the system was neglected and the audit created pressure to catch up. But the result is the same. The auditor is looking at evidence that doesn't represent reality. Backdated is reactivity complete record are problematic because one, they undetermine the auditor ability to assess real system performance. And number two, to create a false basis of certification decision. Number three, they prevent organization from identifying and fixing the real problems. ISO 9001, another standard, clause 7.5 requires document information to be retained and have evidence of conformity. The keyword, in this case, evidence. Evidence must be authentic, create at the time of the activity. How the auditor can detect this? Asks for record for different time periods and compare writing style, ink and format. And another one is check electronic document metadata, file creation date example. So today it's easy to check the internet the document in electronic. Cross different record with other evidence, what the corrective action discussed in the meeting where resources are located. Adex asks employees what metro, how you close this corrective action. Oh, this is a problem, corrective action. The description should match the record. Important. Some reactive documentation is acceptable. For example, reactive risk entire for identify risk. The issue is falsifying evidence to create the appearance of compliance. Okay, let me look at the things number 5. Weird things. Evidence integrity. This slide gives auditor practical tool to assess evidence authenticity. Key message, key message to reinforce the goals is not become forensic investigator. And the goal is to ask a good question and follow the trail evidence to logical conclusion. If records don't match employee memory, the employee memory doesn't match physical evidence, and sometimes it's soft. The appropriate response when you detect suspicious record, um, look in the document your observation, request additional evidence, cross-reference another, expand the sample, don't stop your records at a limited time, add open question that invited the audit to explain. Other important point to remember: most organizations do not think they are doing something wrong. They believe to updating record or finish paperwork just before the audit is normal. Many even think it's expected. As auditor, part of our job to help organization understand why the real evidence is important. Not because the standard says so, not because it's another paperwork requirement, but because real evidence is the foundation for real improvement. Now we come to the most interesting one because it involves people of top management. Mhm. Management versus real gap. This is perhaps the most consequential of the 5. Management team that believe that system is working when the people doing the work know it isn't. The management perception gap arises when reporting system filter bad news before it reaches the top. Employees learn to raising issue is not reward, it is not punished. KPI are set up to show green, not to reveal problem. Why? Internal audit are conducted by the people with a voice finding issues. The result is leaders are making decisions based on a picture of the organization that doesn't match the lived experience in their office, different plant, office, different manufacturer. The auditor role interview people. It's all levels, especially frontline operator, not just manager. At the same question at different levels and compare answer, log the gap between what management believe and what employee experience. And audit the system health check, but the formal system and the culture. What is personal experience? No long ago, during certification audit process 2026, I follow with a hot audit trail in operation, focus operation 45001, occupational health and safety management system certification audit process. First, I interview the top management and go their version, have one version, top management version. Then I went to the shop floor to carry out the other part, the assessment, workers to cross check both perspective. Result: identify non-conformity regarding the requirement of clause 8, 45K. On the closing meeting, I presented the evidence, factory, photos, picture records, manual document, and statement of fact of the workers. It seems management didn't like the message and made a strange decision. They request that I not participate in the first surveillance audit 2027. This goal goes to show the when the top leadership isn't connected to the soldiers on the ground, nothing good can come of it. I once heard something very funny, but brutally true. An auditor should be able to tell your cloth is really ugly. Closing the gap. The slide provides concrete audit techniques to revealing the management really gap. Key message. The auditor is uniquely positioned to see things the internal people cannot, because the auditor has no vested interest in the outcome. Looking good. Use this moment to reflect on the purpose of the auditing. Our job, your job, my job is not validate what management believe. Our job is to provide an objective assessment of what is actually happening. Actually, in this moment, sometimes these two things match. Often they don't. The management review process, ISO 9000, or any management system, Clause 93, is supposed to be the organization own mechanism for closing the gap. This gap theaters instead to genuine reflection, the gap widens. What healthy organizations do? Leadership that want to hear but new so they can fix it. Internal audit program that genuinely challenge your process. Corrective action system to create accountability. A culture where raising problems is valued, not punished, etc. Root cause. This is a pivotal slide, the aha moment of the presentation. Aha moment. Everything we have talking about today, the document, the coaching, the cleanup, the record, the management gap, they all have one thing in common. They are symptoms of the same root causes. The core message, when the organization does the certification of the goal rather the means, they optimize the wrong thing. They ask will this satisfy the auditor? Instead, it does they actually help us perform better? This is not just an organizational problem. This is all industry problem. This is partially a responsibility as assessors, and certification bodies to one, make clear what the value certification really is. Two, set out the expectation that reward genuine performance, no surface compliance. Three, recognize the difference between compliant organization and capable one. So what should organization be doing instead? What does the genuine effective certification look like? This is an aspirational slide. The positive vision, for what good look like. I want to be clear. The five weird things we're talking about is are not inevitable. They happen because the system is misaligned, not because the people are bad and they can fix it. The three pillars are: number one is consistent. A great system have doesn't have good audit days, bad regular days. If it just has day, the practices are embedded. Two, understood. When people understand why they do something, they do it right, even when no one is watching. Three, improving. The real measure of the management system is not whether it passes an audit, it is whether it gets better over time. Encourage the audience to think about it. They can to use audit to shift the organization toward a positive vision. Share finding on the way that building this understanding, no fear. Recognize when the organization are genuinely trying to improve. Distinguish between issues and isolate incidents. Acknowledge progress, not just gap. And now, in the spirit of the motto, simple, interactive, different. Here is an additional list of strange things. I'm sure you can tell another too many stories. Okay, last one. What we learn today? We began today one simple question. What happened between the standard and the real world? During the presentation, we find five common patterns, five situations that show difference between formal compliance and real implementation. The good news is that this situation is not permanent. They are the result of the way people think, and the way people think can change. Before the finish, I would like to leave you, share with you the three ideas. First, the certification process is a powerful tool, but the only when they reflect when they really happen in the organization. Second, as auditor, we have a special responsibility. We are the mirror that help organization. They sees themselves as they really are. Third, when we ask the right question, when we follow the right evidence, when help organization prove, not just comply with the standard. Let me finish with one final thought. The next time you see one of these five unusual situations, don't become frustrated. Be curious and ask why. Okay, we have covered many topics today, but I would like to leave it to you what the thought. Auditing is no enemy of the company. This is the system verifying itself, and every anomaly defines its invitation to ask a better question and to continue making improve. That's all. It's in most cases a relevant third party when the company will know what to do. Okay, done. Thank you. Exemplar Global Auditor Forum 2026. I'm Mike, coordinator. It's been a pleasure. Pleasure. Let's keep making audit matter.
Oh, thank you again, Jorge Bravo, for that perspective on ISO management system certification and the auditing process. If those of you who are watching this pre-recorded session have questions you'd like to address to Jorge, excuse me, just write us at info@exemplarglobal.org and we'll be sure to get your feedback over to him. You could also check out our exclusive Expo community here in the broader Exemplar Global community, and there you can interact with each other and our speakers as well and ask questions and comment on what you've seen. Before we close the session, we want to remind you we have several other great presentations here at the Expo, so be sure to check them out and claim your CPD for those sessions as well as this one. So thanks again, Jorge Bravo. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you at the next session here at Exemplar Global's Online Expo. So long.
My pleasure. Likewise.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jorge.
so much. See you another opportunity. Mike, have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.
See you soon.